I've just cleaned up all my non-ferrous metal that I collect during the day-to-day. In my job I come across it quite a lot, but I also dive into a skip whenever I can and just keep a tub in the back of my van and keep lobbing it in there. So the mission is to get it all scrapped out because I've got enough, you know. I don't do it for the money, I do it for the hell of it. I do it for the why nottery, you know. So I've just cleaned up all the brass and I've cleaned up taps and dirty copper, or brazery I think it's called. This is how I did it. And then once I've finished, because I've got a bit more to do, I'll take it to the scrapyard, see what I come back with, because I need some spending money. I'm going to India soon. Ha ha ha! So this lot is brass, just brass, apart from two bits that I've got this plastic on, which I'll break that off. Got stuff like this, and obviously that is just brass. Now these bits here are brass, but there's got other metals mixed in it. For example, this is brass, but there's a steel rod going through there, so I'll have to take these apart. This is brass, but there's a steel bit inside there. Yeah, so that's mixed stuff, separate. If you're unsure if something's brass or not, there's an easy way to find out. Of course, it should be non-magnetic. It's non-ferrous metal, so it shouldn't be magnetic. But also, grab yourself a file or a grinder and just grind the top off it. And you see there, it's yellow. It's brass. Let me show you how I did that. So that's the brass sorted out. I, as you just saw, took those hinges apart, took the iron rod out, and then it's just brass left over. I also snapped them locks and got as much as the steel bits out as possible. If it's questioned at the yard, I'll just put it through as mixed brass stuff. Right, next thing I'm going to do, because I've got other stuff to sort, is this stuff. That's a load of taps and tap related stuff, which is still brass but it's coated, so it goes in separately. I want to go through it and take off as much brass as I can, as much uncoated brass as I can, so that'll go through with the brush I just cleaned. So let's have a look at that. And by the way, that's only one of a few tubs I've got. Found some more brass. Forgot about that. That'll go straight in there. And this is an example of what I'm talking about. This section here, that's just brass, so I can cut that off. Inside here will be the valve. That's just brass. So if I get away with that, and to get away with this bit, I may be able to get that brass piece out, and that will go in the brass tub. But when they're old like this, sometimes it can be too tricky. I mean, it's not worth your while, because it's just full of cal from the water and blah blah blah. But at least we'll give it a go. Well, that was a wrestling match. As expected, these old taps are full of cal and old soap and all sorts of nonsense. Now I'm going to have a go at getting that valve out. It's all brass, not coated brass. But if it proves too much of a ball ache, I won't bother. I'll leave it in there. But I'll give it a go first, hey? Yeah. I gave it a go. Too much hassle. Too stubborn. So what I'm going to do next, actually I can do it with that piece. This 30 bit here is uncoated brass, just old looking. I can chop that off, and got some others to do as well, and that can go in the brass tub. We'll give this one a go, shall we? You never know. So where are we now? Well, so far we've cleaned up the brass. So we'll continue adding to that. We've cleaned up one tub of taps. Chopping off the good brass and going in with there and everything else. And now we've got my second tub of tap stuff. So let's clean that lot up and see what we can get. This is coated, so I'm not going to chop that off and go in the bin as it is. Right, so I've cleaned up another load, and I just want to check the bottom of here with the magnet just to make sure there's no imposters. So that's just got a metal screw on it, which I'll take out, and that'll be better. Oh yeah, and one nut, bolt, nut, screw. Get your words right, Jeff. Right, these is all, that's all copper bits, mixed copper, because it's still got soldered bits on and blah blah blah, paints and all that sort of stuff. So it'll go in the dirty section. That's all mixed up tap stuff. That's all clean. You know that's all clean. You saw me do it. And you know that's all clean. So let's have a tidy up, shall we? So if you're wondering how strong is this magnet, let's have a look, shall we? Bag of spanners. Yeah, that's strong enough. Now these are pieces off a fairly fancy shower that I had to replace, and they're non-magnetic, which is good. And look inside, I don't know if you can see that, but that's got a distinct yellow tint to it, as in brassy. So let's have a look at this one. Yep, looks like it. Now, if you're unsure again, this is a part of an isolator valve. Is it brass or not? Well, it certainly comes under the coated stuff that taps come under, but let's just show you. Let's have a look. There you go. Nice and yellow. It's brass. Let's have a look what's underneath all that lot, shall we? Though I know what it is, but let's have a look anyway. Nice and yellow? Yeah, it's brass. Well, I think that's enough cleaning up for now, don't you think? The brass is alright, the bare brass is alright, the tappy brass stuff, that's alright too. I'm going to leave behind the copper, the dirty copper bits, because there's only a little bit. I'll save that till next time. It's more worth your while. Right, I'm going to take it down to the scrapyard and scrap it in, or cash it in as you'd say. I'm not going to take my camera with me because I'm sure they don't want a hilly poiler like me walking about with a bloody camera. Let's just go in, cash it in, and I'll come back out again and I'll see what we've got to take on holiday with. Clunk, click, every trip. So I'm back. I am back. And I learnt a few lessons. Well, no, I learnt one lesson. All that cleaning up I did, you saw me separating this brass from that brass and all that, needn't have bothered, because it's all classed as mixed brass. It all went in the same tub. Which is happy for me, because that's less work for me to do next time. Don't bother separating it. Just separate your steel bits from it and your plastic bits from it, but the rest is just brass. So you're wondering, what did I get? By the current price at the moment, today is the 4th of September 2024, £3.30 a kilo, and I got 64 kilos, which comes into the grand total of £211.20 spending money for us India holiday. That is a success in my behalf, considering all those buckets did is sit in my van during the year, jump in a skip, pull out a tap, do a job that involves removing a tap, the old tap goes in there, bits of this, bits of that thrown in. That was fun, and yes, I learned a lesson. Next time, just separate the bits of plastic and the bits of steel and the rest in the buckets. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you live anywhere around Tipton, West Brom, all that sort of stuff. Levi Walters. Perfectly good scrapyard and nice people too. Right, I better get on with something else now, haven't I? No, can't. No, I'm not going to get on with anything because I've got to go on holiday tomorrow.